Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and the Shadowlands release date has been re-announced as of, well, yesterday, but as of today at the time of making this video. This is very exciting news because just a few days ago I made a video talking about when could Shadowlands potentially be released. And one of the things I said is either going to be most likely November, because releasing it too late into December would cause the holidays to kind of mess with the seasonal stuff. You know, the Mythic World first race would be happening, the PvP season would be out, the Mythic Plus season would be available, so that would just kind of... Game companies tend to not like that. In particular for Blizzard, they tend to avoid having seasonal stuff clash with the holidays. So it looks like it is going to be November. I was even thinking maybe 2021 at this point, because 2020 has been kind of a cursed year. But the release is going to be on November 23rd/24th, all depending on what region you are at. This is all very, very exciting, and I kind of just wanted to first of all read the actual announcement that they have provided. Greetings, heroes of the Horde and Alliance. On behalf of the entire World of Warcraft team, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you for your patience as we've continued to work on Shadowlands, and for all the support after we made it a tough decision to delay the game. Today I'm happy to share that the expansion will be arriving November 23rd at 3 p.m. PST, or November 24th at 12 a.m. CET. So this is going to be a worldwide release like they were originally planning. So if you are in EU, you are going to be playing this game at like 1 or 2 in the morning in most cases, or maybe as early as 5 a.m. in some regions. If you are in the US, you will have actually kind of a comfortable release date, 3 p.m. for Pacific Coast, and that'll be something like 7 p.m., 6 p.m. over in the East Coast. So it's not really the worst, especially if you are in the NA. We'd like to thank everyone across the WoW community who helped us get where we are today, including players leveling up new characters in the Shadowlands pre-patch and keeping Azeroth's barbers extra busy, as well as all the beta testers who continue to provide us with invaluable feedback on the expansion. Since we first told you about the decision to delay, we've used the time to further polish the expansion and shore up the endgame, including overhauling the combat rewards in the Maw and reworking the Covenant system to make your choice more immediately impactful and have clearer long-term goals. Now the team is in a great position to get things the rest of the way to the finish line before November 23rd, and as always, we're committed to working with you to improve the game as long as you're out there playing it. Now that we have our launch date, we're excited to tell you that our pre-launch event will kick off November 10th, so steel yourselves to take on the flood of the Scourge. In addition, we've set a December 8th date for the opening of our first raid, Castle Nathria, which takes players into the heart of Sire Denathrius' lair in Revendreth, along with the start of Shadowlands Season 1. We're looking forward to seeing everyone take the first steps into the Shadowlands and forging their destinies. See you on the other side. John Hyde, Executive Producer of World of Warcraft. So this is very exciting. Now we actually have a date, and I did say it's going to either be November or 2021. So it looks like November, or like a late November, is going to be the release. But also we get information that, hey, the 10th will get the pre-patch. So this gives us a couple of weeks to enjoy the pre-patch and all the content. And the pre-patch is coming very, very soon. I think with this upcoming Tuesday, it'll be a week after that, and then we'll have the pre-patch. So this is actually exciting. This is going to be only a few weeks before the real pre-patch with all the events will finally begin. This is all really, really cool. And I guess the question now is going to be, does the Shadowlands so far on the beta feel complete? Are we actually getting closer to the release? Was the delay worth it? And I'd say the Blizzard definitely did a lot in terms of the Shadowlands beta to continue improving further onto the game. The Maw has gotten adjusted, and they're continuing to iterate on it. I even like how they added a quest NPC right before you head into the Maw that will ask you a question of how difficult are the mobs inside of the Maw, so Blizzard can better tune it based on players' feedback. I believe, like me and a lot of other players, you probably answered that a lot of the mobs in the Maw are very, very underwhelming. At least at the very starting zone, when the Maw is supposed to be the scary place, it didn't really feel so. And it also felt kind of empty, but Blizzard filled it with a bunch more quests inside of it for dailies, so there should be a lot more activities in the Maw overall. I really do need to get back into the Maw and try out that experience some more, but most of the time I've really been on the channel doing a lot of the class testing and some of the systems, most of the endgame systems with soulbinds and covenants. The classes, for the most part, are not really getting a lot of radical changes, and I've mentioned that before in a previous video where I said I don't think we are going to be getting anything exciting or new. It looks like, if anything, Blizzard is taking certain convoluted legendaries or even talent options and simplifying them to be easier to work with, rather than trying to come up with something really unique and very interesting and super complex, which means that they're getting closer to that release. A lot of the stuff that they're doing is kind of like the tunings. They're really just tuning the knobs of the numbers. So things are doing from like 5% to 6% damage, or nerfing something from 25% to like 15%. So it's a lot of slight tunings here and there to try to adjust things. And Blizzard has done, I think, a pretty good job with the soul binds and the conduit system and the covenant system in particular. When you put all these things together, you got to remember that covenants are not only going to be that one ability that you have, plus that side ability that you have that's non-class specific, but you also have the soul binds and the conduits that you put into those soul binds, and how all those affect your character and the class that you play. They've done a lot with the soul binds by flipping them so you get all the important abilities a little bit earlier. And they also changed up the conduits, so it's a bit more of an impactful choice. Instead of being like glyph slots where you have to put in 3 potency ones, now it makes it that much harder for you to choose which ones you need. Now you have conduits themselves, which are more customizable, competing with some of the different soul binds, which can be very strong. Some of them have been buffed and others have been nerfed in order to be more competitive, and it looks like, at least for rogues, I can tell you, it's very, very close to one another. Early sims in the beta probably are not going to give us the most accurate information, but when you're starting to see some of the sims be within 5% of each other in effectiveness, it's actually a good thing. And this is something that Blizzard decided that, hey, we want to make sure that you have differences in terms of the different playstyles, but we are going to balance all these different playstyle options in order to try to make them as close to one another so it still feels like your personal choice, but there is going to be at most small power gaps instead of as massive as the ones we saw way earlier in the alpha and the beta version of this expansion. So this is a good thing, and the more Blizzard continues to iterate on these kind of updates, the better. We still have plenty of time in the beta to test things out. But majority of the stuff works, from the world quest to the actual covenants and the conduits and the storylines and the renown system and being able to get your dailies done and hanging out in the mall and the weekly quests and the new emissary system that they added in the game. All that stuff does function. All those things do work. The raids are functioning, minus a couple bugs here and there, pretty well. The dungeons for the most part are complete, and even the affixes and some of the things that they introduced with this expansion for the seasonal stuff is very exciting. The only thing I feel like haven't really been adjusted nearly as much, I would still say, is PvP, as that still is going through quite a lot of iterations. I think Blizzard might still run into an issue with trinkets, PvE trinkets being impactful in PvP. I think that potentially is still going to be a problem going forward, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But if I had to say anything, it looks like it's mostly complete. I really hope they continue putting in a lot of effort to it while it's still not out and about. There are some things that really do still need to be fixed, but we do have our date, and I'm very excited because the expansion has gone through a lot of iterations and a lot of changes, and I'm feeling very good about this release. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see all of you in another video.